Okay, hi. My name is Emily Wager, and I am one of your 2020 through 2021 Texas 4-H Fashion and Interior Design Ambassadors. And I'm just going to kind of give you the rundown, explain to you what exactly the Duds to Dazzle competition is. So, what this is basically the food challenge of the fashion project. It's a competition made up of 3 to 5 team members where you have a specific amount of time and you have to make a garment or an accessory or an item out of old used materials. So, jumping right in, like I said, it's a team made up of 3 to 5 people. And this, of course, goes through all junior, intermediate, and senior divisions. So all divisions can do this. Um, So you have the team members, and then you have design categories. So these categories are randomly chosen for your team on the day of competition. You have either wearable, which is clothing, any kind of clothing that you would wear. You have accessories, which are bags, aprons, earrings, purses, headbands, anything like that nature. And then you've got non-wearable. And these are things like pillowcases, towels, cell phone cases, stuffed animals, doll clothes, anything like that. And you actually have 60 minutes to complete your item and to prepare a presentation for a panel of judges. So that's all great there. And each team does have a sewing kit, much like Food Challenge has their own box with all their supplies in it. Each team has their own box full of things that they need. So we'll get back to what all's in that supply kit here in a minute. So also much like Food Challenge, how they have a pantry while they're cooking, this competition has a closet to use while you are sewing and crafting. This closet consists of other materials that you could use, just anything you can think of really, because the new item or piece of clothing that you make has to only be made up of 50% of the material that you are given to reuse. So you're only given one material, one item, one piece of clothing to remake into something. And the new item that you make has to be made up of at least 50% of that item. So out of the closet, you can use whatever else you need to enhance your item to make it look better. That looks like the basics of the project. So back to the items that you have in your sewing kit or your supplies. You get paint brushes, you get note cards, of course, for your presentation, and I'll get to that soon. You get bobbins because you have a team sewing machine, so you obviously need all the supplies that you need for your sewing machine, like the bobbins and the needles and thread. You get 12 spools of thread. You need your scissors and everything that goes with that. But other than the sewing machine, you get a ruler, of course, you get elastic, you get fabric markers, you get a water bottle, storage bags, a hot glue gun and glue sticks, manual pencil sharpener. You get just tape, just regular tape. You get paper towels, a pin cushion, presser feet, which goes with the sewing machine. You get rotary cutter gloves to go with your rotary cutter. Get a seam gauge, self-adhesive Velcro fastener, scissors, of course, 5 pairs of scissors to each team, straight pins, a tape measure, trash bags, a 1-inch hook and eye closer, 3-in-1 beading tool, a calculator, um, glue, an extension cord for your sewing machine, first aid kit, hand sewing supplies, of course. You get Mod Podge and iron, paper plates, pencils, of course. I might have already said that, I don't know. Safety pins, seam rippers, self-healing cutting mat, a sketchbook, sew on Velcro, an ironing board, a thimble, and a timer or stopwatch. So you've got a lot to work with here. You can make lots of things out of the materials that they give you. And the kinds of materials that they will give you, it could be anything ranging from an old t-shirt to a shower curtain to an old pair of boots, just anything really that you can think of. It's really good for teaching members that you can reuse whatever you have, no matter how old it is, no matter how worn out it is. You can always make something into something new if you put enough thought and creativity in it. And it also, of course, teaches them basic sewing skills, basic crafting skills. It really opens up a whole new world of things that they can do for themselves. Um, so getting on to, you get a presentation and planning sheet while you are sewing your project or making your project. And the sheet has your project description on there, whether it's a sketch or just describing what you want your finished project to look like. And then you have to know your materials that you're using really well, and you have to record all the steps that you took in your construction of your item. Next, you have to know the general care of the item that you created or the textile that you received to make your item out of, and how to take care of it, how to clean it. So basically, you just have to know the fibers and the care instructions. Then you have to list your safety precautions that you took. Uh, just just safety precautions, like everyone kept their fingers away from the sewing machine while somebody was at the sewing machine. And then next, it's more of an economic take on the item that you created. So you have to list what kind of intended purchaser you would you would want for your item, and maybe the location, maybe like a specific store or just a kind of store that you would sell your item from. Um, and then, of course, what price you would sell your item for. Then next, you list out your team member roles and each task that they did. And that pretty much covers all that you're going to have on your presentation. For instance, for an example, let's say that I got an old cotton t-shirt for this competition, and I decided to make a mask out of it because they're so relevant right now. My project description would be it's just a mask that's very breathable, that's very easy to take care of. It's soft, and it protects your face, obviously. My construction, just I sewed the two faces together, then I sewed on the straps, face straps. Then I'd list out the steps that I did that in. The fibers I would say are, of course, 100% cotton, and the care instructions, just machine wash and dry. Safety precautions that I took, maybe careful with the scissors, was very careful with the needle in the sewing machine, just little things like that. Yes. So then at the end of each presentation, your panel of judges will have a question time. See here, it says you have 5 minutes for your presentation. So you also have to make that very quick. because you only have 5 minutes to tell all the judges everything on that sheet and everything that you want them to know. And then you have an additional 3 minutes for questions that the judges may randomly ask you. And I think that, like, also like food challenge, the judges might walk around the competition area while the 60 minutes is still going, just kind of watching your team, seeing how you interact, seeing how your teamwork is doing. But anyway, back to the questions that the judges may ask you. I've got a list here of possible questions that they might ask you. I'm not going to read them all off, but you can pause the video here to see them. It's just general questions, pretty much related. It's nothing too hard. They won't veer off of they won't veer off too far from what was on your presentation sheet. Um, they're just questions like, how did you decide which methods to use in your construction? Or how will you use your construction skills after you graduate from the 4-H program? And determine how you determined the wholesale and resale prices of your item. Just random things like that that you should know. Oh, one more thing. This competition is held in the springtime at Roundup, I believe. If not at Roundup, then it's still a spring competition. But I'm pretty sure that it is at Roundup. So it's not a fall competition or anything. You've got lots of time to practice with your teams. And I think that about sums up the whole of Duds to Dazzle. It's a very fun competition, it seems like. It really builds that teamwork. It builds your creative thinking. It builds your quick thinking on what to make a shower curtain into in an hour. Um, yeah, it's just good. It's good for everything. All right. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Um, thank you for watching. I hope this helped a little bit, and I hope you consider competing in this competition. All right.